You know those times when you're speaking English and you feel like there's something more going on, like under the surface of the words?
Oh, absolutely. You hear a phrase, maybe a really simple one, and it feels like it's being used in a way you didn't quite expect.
Exactly. And it turns out that some of the most common everyday English phrases carry, well, a surprising amount of nuance. Getting a feel for them can really make a difference in sounding natural.
It really can. We learn grammar, we memorize vocab,
Hmm.
but understanding how people actually use these phrases, that's key. It moves you from just being correct to um, genuinely comfortable and, well, natural in the language. It's about the unspoken stuff.
And that's precisely what we're diving into today. We've got 15 really useful English phrases for everyday conversation. Our goal isn't just a quick definition, though.
Right. We want to unpack them, look at different situations, different contexts, really get a feel for how and why they're used the way they are.
Think of it like cracking the code on common expressions. It's not going to be a dry lesson, more an exploration of how native speakers actually communicate intention and feeling.
And what's interesting is how flexible they are. The meaning can shift, can't it? Depending on who's talking,
Yeah.
the situation. It's dynamic.
Okay, let's jump right in. First up, be my guest. Now, the basic meaning is, well, feel free, help yourself. It's permission or an invitation.
Exactly. Very straightforward sometimes. Like, can I use your phone?
Be my guest. Simple.
Yeah, clear permission. Nothing tricky there.
What about, say, offering food? Like, would you like some more cake? And maybe they hesitate. Just a small piece.
Ah, okay. And you can reply, oh, be my guest. Now, how does that feel different?
It feels warmer, doesn't it? More
Yeah.
inviting, like you genuinely want them to have more cake. It's not just allowing it.
Precisely. It's got that generous tone. Now, let's tweak it. What if it's the last slice of cake?
Yeah.
And you say, maybe a little quietly, be my guest.
That's interesting. That could mean, like, go ahead, you take it. Maybe even implying you wanted it too. A bit of selflessness, perhaps.
Could be, yeah. Or even a hint of resignation, depending on how you say it. It's subtle. So it's not just permission, but the spirit of the permission.
Okay. What about offering a seat? Someone's hovering, looking unsure.
If there are plenty of seats, gesturing and saying, be my guest, is just welcoming. Please sit down.
But if it's the only seat left and two people are eyeing it,
Then saying, be my guest to the other person, well, that could sound a bit pointed, maybe even slightly sarcastic, like you're giving it up,
yeah.
but not entirely thrilled about it.
Wow. Okay. So context is everything. Simple permission, warm invitation, generosity, even sarcasm, all packed into two little words.
Exactly. It's all in the delivery and the situation.
All right. Moving on. Phrase number 2. Call it a day. This one seems pretty straightforward. Stop working on something.
Yes, usually means ending work, right? The example, it's getting late, let's call it a day, is classic, times the reason.
But it doesn't have to be about being tired. Or the clock, does it? What if you've just finished a big part of a project?
Good point. You could definitely say, okay, team, great work. Hitting that milestone, let's call it a day here. It signals completion, a natural stopping point, not necessarily exhaustion.
Right. Or what if you're just stuck? Like hitting your head against a wall on a problem?
Oh, definitely. You might sigh and say, I'm just not getting anywhere with this. I'm going to call it a day. Fresh eyes tomorrow.
Yeah, you can almost hear the frustration in that version. It's about needing a break to reset.
Exactly. So calling it a day can be driven by time, by accomplishment, or even by frustration and the need for a mental break. The reason shapes the feeling.
Okay, next up. Come on, this one. Wow, it does a lot of different jobs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Encouragement, impatience, disbelief.
It's a real chameleon, like you said earlier. Totally depends on the tone and context. Let's take encouragement first. Someone's struggling, maybe lifting something heavy.
You'd say, come on, you can do it.
Huh?
Right. Upbeat, supportive.
Yeah, pure motivation. Like a coach cheering. You believe in them.
Okay, but shift gears. Impatience. You're late. Someone's dawdling.
Then it's more like, come on, we're going to miss the train. Stress syllable, maybe a bit sharp.
Definitely sharper. There's frustration there, urgency. It's not about believing in them anymore. It's about the delay being annoying.
Exactly. The feeling is completely different. Now, disbelief. Someone tells you something wild. I saw a pig fly this morning.
You probably draw it out like, oh, come on. Or like, seriously, you expect me to buy that?
Precisely. It's skepticism. Maybe a bit playful, maybe genuinely incredulous. You're challenging what they said.
So, the same two words. I believe in you, hurry up, or I don't believe you. That's incredible. It's all in the performance.
Absolutely. And you can even blend them, can't you? Think sports. Your team is almost there. come, ONN, full of hope. Then they fumble. Oh, come on. Disappointment, disbelief. Same words, different world.
Wild. Okay, let's look at a pair. Drop by and stop by.
Right.
Very similar, meaning a brief, informal visit.
Yeah, the key is casual, often unplanned. Like, I might drop by your office later if I get a chance.
Okay, so the might there emphasizes it's not certain. Low commitment, quick visit if possible. How about stop by? Like, feel free to stop by anytime.
That feels more like an open invitation, doesn't it? Still casual, still probably brief, but it's saying the door's generally open for you to pop in. Less specific than might drop by later.
Right. Would you say, I'm going to drop by for dinner?
That sounds a bit off.
It does sound a bit off. Drop by and stop by usually imply something shorter, less structured than a full meal. For dinner, you'd probably say, come over or come for dinner. More intentional.
So these are really for those quick pop-ins. Visiting a friend for a few minutes, swinging by a colleague's desk.
Exactly. Brief, informal encounters, not scheduled meetings or long stays.
Okay. Next, get a hold of. Means to contact someone.
Yep. I need to get a hold of Sarah about the meeting. Clear purpose, need to communicate. Now, you mentioned related phrases. Contact, reach out to. How is get a hold of maybe different? Well, contact is maybe the most neutral, just making communication. Reach out to can feel a bit more proactive, like initiating something, get a hold of. Sometimes it feels like it implies it might be a little difficult.
That's a really sharp observation. Yes. Get a hold of can suggest you might need to put in some effort. Maybe the person is busy, hard to track down.
Right. Like if someone's notoriously bad at answering their phone, you'd say, I need to get a hold of them, not just I'll contact them.
Exactly. Whereas contact can be as simple as sending an email you know they'll see. Reach out to often fits professional or networking context too, doesn't it? Reaching out to a potential client.
Yeah, it can sound a bit more formal sometimes. Get a hold of feels more focused on just making that connection happen, maybe overcoming a small barrier.
Perfectly put. There's that subtle layer of potential effort involved.
Okay, number 6, hang around. Meaning to stay somewhere without a specific purpose, just passing time.
That's it. The example, we hung around the park for a while after the concert, suggests exactly that. The main event was over. They just lingered, relaxed.
Where else might you hang around? Maybe teenagers at the mall.
Classic example.
Yeah.
Or someone hanging around a coffee shop after they've finished their coffee, just reading or chatting.
Or waiting for luggage at the airport baggage claim. You're definitely hanging around then.
Absolutely. The common element is, well, no specific task or goal for being right there at that moment, just occupying time and space.
Can it be negative, though? Like, if someone's hanging around suspiciously?
Yes, it definitely can. If you say someone was hanging around outside a closed shop late at night, it implies loitering, maybe something iffy. So the context shifts it from neutral or pleasant to potentially concerning.
But mostly, in everyday chat, it's just casual, unplanned time spent somewhere.
Usually, yes.
All right, keep in touch. Very common way to say goodbye, implying you want to maintain contact.
Yes. It was great seeing you. Let's keep in touch. We hear it all the time. It's friendly, expresses a desire to stay connected. But how genuine is it always?
That's the question, isn't it? Sometimes it feels really sincere, especially if you follow up with, like, I'll email you, or exchanging numbers.
Right. There's a concrete next step suggested.
But other times, maybe with someone you barely know, it can feel more like just a polite way to end the conversation, a formality.
I think so. The follow-through, or lack thereof, is often telling. Also, your existing relationship and the tone. A warm, definitely keep in touch, feels different from a quick, almost automatic keep in touch.
And how we actually do keep in touch has changed so much. Email, text, social media.
For sure. The phrase itself is broad, just signaling the intention to maintain some kind of link, however that might happen.
Okay, number 8. Look into. This means to investigate or examine something.
Exactly. It usually comes with a promise of action. I'll look into the matter and get back to you. That's common in customer service, right?
Definitely. It reassures the person their problem or question isn't being ignored. It implies you'll, check records, gather info, figure out what's going on.
It's about starting that process of finding out more. Doesn't always mean an instant solution, but it means investigation will happen. Can you use it for other things like planning?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we're looking into flights to Italy for our holiday. It means you're researching, comparing prices, gathering information before deciding.
So it works for investigating problems and for exploring options.
It seems so. It's about that proactive examination.
Good.
Phrase 9, make up your mind, simply means to decide, but often with a sense of needing to decide.
Yes, there's often an implication that a decision point has been reached. You need to make up your mind about which university to attend. That's a big decision. There's pressure.
The tone can vary a lot, though, can't it? With a kid choosing ice cream, it might be playful. Come on, make up your mind.
Right. Gentle nudging. But with something serious, like a job offer with a deadline, it might be firmer. Look, you need to weigh the pros and cons and make up your mind by Friday.
So it emphasizes reaching a conclusion. What if someone says it when they're frustrated by someone else's indecision?
Oh, yeah. It can definitely carry impatience. Just make up your mind already. The phrase itself is neutral decide, but the delivery and context layer on the urgency or frustration.
Got it. Okay, number 10. Once in a while
Hmm.
means occasionally, not often.
Pretty clear meaning. We go out for dinner once in a while. Suggests it happens, but infrequently. Now, we compared it to sometimes and occasionally. How do they stack up in frequency?
Sometimes feels vaguest. Could be fairly often, could be rarely. Occasionally feels less frequent than sometimes. And once in a while feels even less frequent than occasionally. Like, it's a bit rarer. What do you think?
I agree completely. Think of it like a scale. Sometimes is the most frequent of the three, then occasionally, then once in a while implies the least frequency. It really emphasizes the infrequency.
So visiting family sometimes might be monthly. Occasionally, maybe every few months. Once in a while. Maybe just annually. Or even less.
That's a good way to think about the subtle differences. It helps quantify those vague terms a bit.
Okay, phrase 11, put up with, means to tolerate something unpleasant.
Right. There's a definite negative feeling implied. I don't know how you put up with his complaining. It expresses sympathy, maybe even amazement, at someone enduring annoyance.
You have to put up with lots of things sometimes, don't you?
Hmm.
Noisy construction, a difficult commute, maybe a software bug.
Exactly. Things that bother you, but you tolerate them. Now, how does it compare to just tolerate or endure?
Tolerate feels maybe more neutral, just accepting something. Endure sounds harder, like suffering through something really difficult for a long time. Put up with feels like active annoyance that you're choosing, maybe reluctantly, to accept.
That's a great distinction. Tolerate might be a minor inconvenience. Endure suggests real hardship. Put up with carries that feeling of being bothered, that constant low-level or high-level irritation that you're accepting, often with resignation.
Yeah, like you don't have much choice, or changing it is too much hassle.
Exactly.
Number 12, so what? Short, punchy. Expresses indifference or dismissal.
Very direct. The example, I didn't finish the report. So what? The deadline's next week. It dismisses the problem by showing it doesn't actually matter yet.
The core feeling is not caring, right?
Yeah.
But it can range. It could be a casual, it's no big deal, or it could be quite defiant, like, I don't care what you think.
Absolutely. If someone criticizes something minor and you say, so what? You're brushing off their opinion as irrelevant.
It can also be used if someone points out the obvious, maybe, like, careful, it's raining, when you're already soaked. Your so what means, yeah, I know, and?
Exactly. It can mean this information doesn't change anything for me, or why are you telling me this? The tone really dictates whether it's light dismissal, actual indifference, or even aggression.
Such a small phrase, such a range.
Isn't it just?
Okay, 13. Think over. Means to consider carefully.
Yes, implies thoughtful consideration before deciding. Take some time to think it over. That's advice to pause and reflect, not rush. How's it different from just consider or maybe ponder?
Consider feels broader, just giving something thought. Ponder feels deeper, maybe more philosophical, less about a specific decision. Think over seems really focused on evaluating a particular choice or problem, weighing things up.
I think that's right. Consider is general thought. Ponder is often deeper, more abstract reflection. Think over implies a practical evaluation process aimed at making a decision. You think over the pros and cons, the details.
So you consider options, ponder life, and think over a job offer.
That nails it. Think over has that specific goal. Reach a reasoned decision.
14. What's going on? Simple question. What is happening?
Yep. There are sirens outside. What's going on? It's usually prompted by something noticeable or unusual. You want information about the current situation.
You'd use it if you walk into a weird atmosphere too, right? Or see a crowd somewhere unexpected. It's a general info-seeking phrase for the immediate environment.
Exactly. But again, tone matters hugely. A casual, curious, hey, what's going on, is different from an alarmed, what's going on, if you see smoke, for example.
Right. It can be simple curiosity or concern, or even suspicion, depending on how you say it and why you're asking.
Precisely. A fundamental question, but the emotional context varies.
And finally, number 15, you bet means absolutely, certainly, enthusiastic, yes.
Very positive, very strong agreement. Can you help me? You bet. It's more than just yes. It adds willingness, even eagerness.
How does it compare to, say, absolutely or definitely or of course?
Absolutely and definitely are also strong, but maybe feel a touch more formal. Of course, can sometimes imply the answer is obvious. You bet feels the most informal and enthusiastic of that group, like you're happy to agree or help.
Yeah, it has a certain cheerful energy to it, like, you can count on me.
Exactly. It's positive, emphatic agreement. Great for showing enthusiasm.
Wow.
Will you be at the party? You bet.
This has been really, really helpful, just seeing how these common phrases twist and turn depending on the situation. It really shows there's more to it than just the dictionary definition.
Absolutely. And understanding those nuances, those subtle shifts, that's what makes your English sound truly natural and helps you connect better.
So the challenge for you listening is, well, start noticing. Pay attention when you hear these phrases. What's the context? Who's talking? What's the tone?
Yeah, listen for them. And then, try using them yourself. See how it feels.
Think about it. Understanding these isn't just about better English. It's about better understanding people, right? Getting those subtle messages.
Definitely. And maybe ask yourself, what other simple phrases out there have made you pause and think, what's really going on with that one?
Something to think about. We'll definitely be back to explore more of these kinds of linguistic puzzles in future deep dives.
Looking forward to it. Until then, keep listening, keep noticing.